Hi everybody, my name is Lori Faber Woodward and I am doing something today that is way outside of my comfort zone. I'm not sure why I'm nervous about this, but I am. So I am relaunching my YouTube channel. I've had one for 10 to 15 years and did absolutely nothing with it. I think I uploaded 4 videos and they were all over the map and they were random and they were terrible. So I look back there and I go, "Oh my gosh." But that's okay. That's called life, right? So here we are 10 to 15 years later and I'm in a whole new phase of my life. 58, empty nesting, still in my career of 30 plus years as a mechanical engineer. So I've been in corporate America for most of it. There was a 5 year gap in there where I stayed home with my boys for a while. But I am just starting to think about retirement some. I mean, it's not going to be the next year or 2 years, but it's the next phase, you know. It's probably 5 to 7 years and I just feel like there's something else. There's something else that I need to give the world because not that I'm that wise, but I have experiences now. I have stories to share, and I have no idea where this is going. I have no idea what the content on my YouTube channel is going to be, and I'm doing everything probably wrong because I should be learning more up front before I jump into this. But I'm just kind of one of those girls that's just like, hey, let's just start it and see what happens. So this one's been weighing on my heart. I'm like, what would my content even be? And I've been thinking about this, and then last week it all kind of came together. But I had a total knee replacement at 58, so last year. Um, I'll be 59 this November, and I just had my 1 year, 2 month follow up with my doctor, and told him I don't know how this even came about, but he just I did so well with this surgery, but it was a journey, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys. He encouraged me to do this. So hopefully my authenticity and my journey will touch somebody out there, especially if you're on the fence about whether do I do this or not. I highly encourage it. So I did journal my journey, and not that I did it every day, but I want to share this with you guys because it was so worth it for me, and hopefully somebody else out there has the same experience. And I know there's people that have not, and I'm sorry for that. But maybe this is a sign to go explore a different surgeon or a different area that has better medical help out there with technology. It's so worth it, you guys. So May 6th of last year is when my surgery was, and when I found out a month before that I needed it, in all honesty, I kind of knew it was coming. I had taught fitness for about 10 to 15 years. When I lived in Phoenix, I was going to ASU, and that's how I paid my way through college. My parents didn't have the money to pay for it. I paid my way through college. And so I don't know if you guys recall, but remember when the bench or the step was the great big fitness phase? Well, I was in Phoenix when that became popular, and I actually flew to LA to get certified in it. So that's what I did 3 to 4 times a day for 4, 5, 6 years, and then I kept up with teaching fitness for some time afterwards. But fitness has always been a big part of my life. Even here at 58, I still work out 4 to 5 times every morning before I start my day, and if I don't, my day just is not balanced correctly. So that led into plyometrics, and that led into CrossFit. So I have not been good to my knees. I have not. And I kind of always knew someday it was going to catch up with me, and it did. So my mid 50s, and one of my knees, I just started having some pain every now and then I'd take time off and it would be fine. And then this went on and on until last year, the beginning of the year, I just would be walking down the street and all of a sudden my knee would give out. And at first I would downplay it. I'm like, okay, I'll just be easy on myself for a while. But it became the point where, like, I was stepping up on a curb one day and my knee totally gave out and I fell. So it almost got to the point where I was afraid to walk. I didn't trust myself. And I'll never forget, here was the defining moment. I was looking out, it was spring, and I saw a dandelion. I thought, oh, I need to go pick that. And I walked out on my deck, and I had 5 steps ahead of me, and I was afraid to do it. I thought, okay, I don't have a quality of life anymore. So I thought, I need to do this. And my doctor was very clear. He's like, after the MRI, he said, you got a Baker's cyst, which I had never even heard of. So this huge mass on my knee and then tears everywhere. And he said, we can try some different stuff, but it's probably only going to buy you 2 to 3 months. So I was very scared. I really hadn't been under the knife before. One time for appendicitis, and that happened so quick that I didn't even have time to think about it. Where this one I had time to think about it, but I want to say it was the best decision I ever made. So I went through my journal and I kind of summarized it here in my head. The first couple days, I honestly don't, besides the short, confusing, all over the map prayers in here, none of it made a whole lot of sense. I do want to say that I had talked to a gentleman at work before I went in for my surgery, and he and his wife had been through, they both have had total knee replacements in both knees. And so he was very experienced at this, and he said, my last one, I didn't even need to take the drugs. And I thought, well, gosh, if he didn't, I'm not going to, because he's obviously way more out of shape than I am. So I kind of went into this thing thinking, oh, I'm not going to take those drugs for the pain. Big mistake. So number one is listen to your doctors, and they're giving you those pain medicines for a reason, to help you sleep and to help you repair. So after 24 hours, my mom was here with me for 5 days after surgery, and she had been through the same surgery years and years ago. So technology had totally changed. But she, after one day, she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, what am I doing? So take the pain medications. That's number one. And then after that, you guys, in all honesty, the first couple weeks in here was just pity parties. And then, okay, nope, I can't do this. I'm moving in the right direction. So then I'd be thankful and write down gratitude. And then it was May, so I'd look out and kids would be playing in the yard, and I'd hear the birds singing and people walking by, and then I'd have another pity party. And the first couple weeks was like, this was the worst thing I could have ever done. So fast forward a year later, and it was the best thing I could have ever done. I did PT religiously. She said, 2 or 3 times a day. After I met with her, I did it 4 or 5 times a day. Plus, I was bored. You guys, there's something you need to understand about me. I don't sit still very well, not at all. And I knew this was going to be hard for me, and then it was springtime on top of it. So I had a huge things to learn to do, but it was very hard for me at first, especially because I couldn't work out in the mornings. There was no routine. I don't do well sitting still, but it all happened for a reason. God works in mysterious ways, and I think he was telling me, not only is it time to get this knee fixed, but it's time to rest some. And new phase of life, empty nesting, what's next? My career, has been established, but I'm starting to think, maybe there's more. So the timing of this is impeccable. God works in mysterious ways. So not only did I repair my body, but I was forced to be still. And for people like me and my personality, that's very hard. But looking back, I look in here and it's like, wow, a lot has changed in a year. And fast forward a year, you guys, I'm pretty much, okay, wait, back up. So after 1 week of not working out, I'm like, I'm doing PT, but I need something in the morning before I start my day. I did start chair yoga after about 5 days. And granted, it's not intense or nothing, but that really helps set my mind. So if you're in my position, try to find something that's, even though not part of your normal routine, can kind of substitute for part of your routine. getting back into routine was huge for me, because that's just how I started my day. So I do encourage that, following your physical therapist, and it's not easy. It hurts. It hurts. But just keep pushing yourself because it's so worth it. Don't get lazy. You're going to have a pity party, and that's okay. Be gentle on yourself. But for every pity party, pick yourself up and say, okay, let's buck up. It's time to move on. So anyway, I'm pretty much after, I didn't even do the walker, because when I heard about the walker, I'm like, ooh, I don't know about that. I went from crutches straight to a cane, and that made me really happy. And I started probably kind of working out, where, I'm vertical and I'm doing some stuff. I want to say I looked through here, I think 6 weeks later, 4 to 6 weeks later. And granted, that was a transition, a slow move. But here I am a year later, and I'm pretty much doing everything that I did before. I shouldn't say that. I limit my plyometrics. I don't jump as much anymore, but I can pretty much do anything I want. And my doctor encouraged me to. He's like, I said, is there going to be limitations? He's like, not really. He said, try it and your body will let you know. And that's what I've done. Now, again, I'm not crazy and saying CrossFits anymore. I'm 59. I'm not dumb. I know there's things that need to change as we age and gain wisdom. And that's what I'm hoping this channel turns into. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where this is going yet. But I hope this is encouraging to somebody. Oh, yes, and another thing is, last week when I did my follow-up, the doctor's like, where's your scar? He's like, your scar has been amazing. He even rolled over to his computer with me and says, okay, show me exactly what you did here. And we looked it up together. So, not to promote anything, but I love the It Works Defining Gel. It's amazing, not only for moisturizing, and it's all pure and natural, but it helps tremendously with scars. So I was doing that with the purest vitamin E oil that I could find out there. When I was home, probably 2 to 3 times a day, just because I was bored. And then when I went back to work, which I did 2 weeks later, part-time, I was doing it in the morning and the evening. And you guys, maybe I'll take a picture of it. I don't know. Anyway, I hope this helps somebody, and feel free to reach out, make comments. Where this goes next, I have no clue. But happy Saturday. Nice to meet you all. Bye-bye.